Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we are pleased to be joined by the most recent winner in the Truck Series, and of course is Grant Enfinger. How's it going?
It's going good. Recent winter. It feels like about 3 months ago that happened, the gateway. But
Feel
yeah,
like
that is still good to hear that though, Casey.
it sure does. Of course, the driver of the number 23 Chevrolet for GMS Racing in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. But of course, this week we're back at it at Nashville. It's what do you think about going to that place once again? What's it going to be like at Nashville Super Speedway?
I think they've done a good job with it. The resin and the tire dragging that they did last year worked pretty good. It's still a mile and a half track that's pass on. With our package, it's just difficult part of it. So track position is going to mean a lot, but still, if you've got a good enough truck, and hopefully we got a really good champion power equipment Chevrolet again, then you can make your way from the back to the front. But it is, it is tough to pass there. I think it's one of those places. You can have some tire wear affect things. There is a 3/4 of a second to a second of tire fall off. So you do have some drivability issues. You do lose some pace through a run. But it's still ultra important to have that clean air.
Yeah. So far the season's been going really well. Of course, 2 wins on the year. What's that been like? It's obviously not the first time you and Jeff have won multiple wins in the season. Of course, back in 2020 was the last time that happened. But overall, how is obviously last year, going with that was your first year at GMS, and then all the struggles there, and then of course you got that win at IRP, and then this year, multiple wins on the year. So what's been the big difference this year, you think? And of course, 2 new teammates as well this year.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing for us this year is kind of carried over some from last year. The last, third of the season, quarter of the season, I feel like we carried a lot more speed to the racetrack. I feel like, we started out this year a little bit sloppy, but we had potential in our champion power equipment Chevys. We were showing speed, but it was intermittent speed, and we didn't put together whole races. But this last 5 race stretch, I'm pretty proud of. Still a few feel like we left a few spots on the table there, especially North Wilkesboro. But really this last 5 race stretch, which is pretty tough on these truck series guys, and really tough on GMS racing. But I feel like our organization is probably set up to handle it better than most. But it's still 5 races in a row is tough for these guys. And I feel like we kind of handled it really well as an organization standpoint. And I feel like our 23 team and GMS Racing as an organization brought pretty good speed to all 5 of those races. So we were able to win a couple of those. We had, contending speed at a few of those races. And then the other ones, we still were a top 5 truck for a majority of the race. So feel good about the direction we're headed. I feel like we have somewhat, maybe we haven't turned the whole corner, but we've turned into the corner, and we're pointing in the right direction, and things are looking good. And I feel like we've got a lot of momentum heading into the time of the season where you want it.
Yeah. And of course, only 4 more races left to go in the regular season. It just seems like the season just started because now, of course, Nashville this weekend, and then Mid-Ohio in a few weeks. Of course, the second road course of the year, and then Pocono, and then Richmond to close out the regular season. Obviously, a lot of tracks you've had a lot of success at. What's it going to be like these next 4 races?
A lot changed, honestly, at Gateway, just the way everything shuffled around. We were in a very fortunate position there at the end that, we had a shot to win the race on our own. We had fallen back to third, and looked like we still had a shot to win without contact. And then, Ty and Zane getting together, that kind of did more than change the race. It kind of changed the whole point steal for us too. So now we're kind of in the mix. Obviously, it's something that we would want to go after, winning this regular season championship, and I think we're kind of in the mix now. But me and Jeff don't really want to let the foot off the accelerator on trying to win races. So I think that this next race, if it comes down to, hey, do we have a shot to win this race? If that answer is yes, then we're going to play to win the race. And if we got a fifth to 10th place truck, then okay, we may back up and play the points game. So I feel like that's something that Jeff is really good at thinking on his feet and making those tough decisions, when it counts. So but yeah, that kind of changed things a little bit there at Gateway. So we're kind of in the mix there. I feel like of all those 4 races you mentioned, the one I'm the most worried about, me and Jeff have just had limited success at Pocono for some reason. I feel like there's been a couple of times we had a pretty good truck there, and we were in a situation where we needed to play the points game and we couldn't get the finish we deserved. And then, a few other times we just kind of struggled. So I feel like that's one that we're going to put a lot of emphasis on. Like I said, I feel like we've made a lot of gains with our organization as a whole and the trucks we're bringing to the track. So hopefully the combination of that and us, we can put a good plan together for Pocono.
Yeah. So, of course, you also announced that that baby number 2 is going to be on the way pretty soon. What about just talk about announcing that as you won at Gateway?
Yeah, that definitely wasn't planned or anything. It just seemed right in the moment, and the wife wasn't too mad at me afterwards. She was definitely not expecting that, and it just felt right to announce that at the time. And we just got some good news from her checkup a week and a half or so, but before that race. So we were starting to tell our friends and family and stuff like that. So yeah, we're very excited about that, and looking forward to what the future holds.
What's it going to be like going around a track like Nashville?
It's got a lot of mile-and-a-half tendencies, more so mile-and-a-half than short track. It's not, obviously it's not quite a mile and a half, but it has those same tendencies. I will say we actually use a little bit of brake in Nashville, whereas a lot of these mile-and-a-halves you don't even look at the brake pedal. So we will use a little bit of brake here, especially on into a run. I think this is one of those places where, like a lot of them, balance is pretty critical. I think if you start tight, you're gonna get really tight. I think you could probably handle being a little free, but if you start loose, I think then you're gonna build loose and have to manage that. So definitely something to is my job is the driver, and Jeff's job as a crew chief is for us to communicate really well about that. It just has some little different tendencies being a concrete track. It seems to be a place that we can lay rubber down, but we also pick rubber up under caution a lot of times. So, sometimes that can throw you for a loop if you're not prepared for it. But other than that, it's a good track. It's a fun place. It doesn't seem to have many bumps or anything like that. And like I said, they are, from what I understand, I never know 100% till we get there, but they are putting the resin in the tire dragging down from what I understand. So think that helped with the racing a little bit last year.
Yeah. One more thing before we go. Your Cup debut. You made I know you made got to go in a Cup car last week. Obviously the circumstances was probably what you not have wanted, but overall, how did you think that went?
Yeah, overall, definitely unfortunate for Noah and for the hit that he took at Gateway. That was obviously a pretty vicious hit and all. So yeah, it's definitely unfortunate circumstances for Noah, and appreciate his help with trying to get me prepared in just a matter of days to do something that I hadn't done before. But overall, it was fun working with those guys. It was fun working with Noah preparing for that deal, and yeah, it was a lot of preparation packed into a couple of days. But once practice started, I had a good time. It was fun learning a new car. Those cars drive a lot differently than our trucks do. The shifting's different, the braking is different, the acceleration is drastically different. But it was a lot of fun. So didn't get a whole lot of practice to figure things out. I got 20 minutes there at Sonoma, and Sonoma's a tough, slick track, but it was fun. It was genuinely fun to drive those cars around there, and it was an enjoyable experience, and able to come home clean and finish 26th. Just overall, just kind of a unfortunate circumstance and worked out all right in the end, and genuinely had a fun time learning a new card.
All right. Well, Grant Enfinger, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. Best of luck at Nashville this weekend.
All right. Thanks, Casey.